and welcome back to the second part of our conversation with Kuljeet Kaveeshwar, fondly known as KK. KK is the Senior Technical Director of the Digital Marketing Studio at Globant, and she brings in with her a wealth of experience in AdTech, MarTech, digital marketing strategy, and implementation space. My name is Chandrama, and I am a digital marketing specialist with Globant. In the last episode, we discussed some of the most powerful solutions for the AdTech industry in the cookieless world. Along with this, we strategically addressed the how and why of audience targeting and collecting meaningful data without being intrusive. This episode throws the spotlight on identifying the possible challenges that the newly popular ID solutions might bring with them, with special emphasis on addressing the poignant issue of interoperability. Along with this, we will address the longevity of these solutions in the newly volatile and highly dynamic and tactile AdTech space. At Globant, we seek reinvention. We help companies around the world reinvent themselves and find their way forward through digital and cognitive transformation. On BitsNBytes, in conversation with KK, we are talking about how the demise of third-party cookies will be reshaping the advertising and marketing arena with a special emphasis on consumer data privacy and amplified customer experience. We are also shifting gears towards identifying the possible challenges of the newly popular ID solutions and addressing the poignant issue of interoperability. Welcome back, KK. I would like to jumpstart this conversation by addressing the fact that as Google starts testing flocks in the real world, independent ad tech is working in parallel to create ID solutions that advertisers and publishers might use to identify users in the near future. However, interoperability remains a challenge by and large. Do you think this aspect is being addressed by the current set of popular ID solutions that we have?
Many cookieless ID systems work in silos because they are designed independently. What this means is that a publisher utilizing UID 2.0 and a DSP using Universal ID will not be able to work together. Despite the privacy problems associated with third-party cookie-based targeting, it has found widespread acceptance amongst ad tech companies. The lack of compatibility is a barrier that the various cookieless ID methods must overcome before becoming widely useful. While some vendors are trying to embed interoperability by their private standards, there are some vendors like Tapad which are addressing this problem by and large with the launch of Switchboard. The ID solution supported by Switchboard includes UID 2.0, Universal ID, Brightpool, and Lotame, amongst others. By providing seamless interoperability for a combination of various cookieless ID solutions, Tapad is attempting to provide a layer of connectivity that is currently missing.
So KK, extending a bit on IDs, ID graphs have been around for a number of years, but they're starting to really take off now. Why do you think that is? Is there perhaps a larger story cultivating in the background, or is it a mere coincidence?
There is no serendipity in advertising and publishing arena, you see. The reason for increase in their popularity stems from various identity-related challenges. Third-party cookies are becoming less and less available, and there is a need to look for other ways to identify users across not only websites, but also other devices like mobile and CTV. And that's where ID graphs come in. ID graphs can produce single customer view that includes an individual's behavior and data points across numerous devices and channels by collecting several IDs from distinct channels. The interesting part of working mechanism of an identity graph is deterministic and probabilistic matching, wherein a company's first-party IDs collected would be matched with all the other IDs in the graph. This, in turn, allows the companies to finally identify its customers across different devices and channels and run various cross-devices activities like ad targeting, personalization, and attribution.
That's a fairly interesting mechanism. Coming to the last question for this segment, which might pose a bit of a dichotomy to what we discussed throughout our conversation. AdTech companies are moving from one identification method to another. And it won't be long until Apple or Google make some changes to their web browsers or mobile operating systems to prevent these identification methods. Do you think eventually IDs and ID based solutions will disappear completely?
I'm like the rest of us, really. We are aware of Apple's ITP and the changes to IDFA. And while the advertising space is currently swaying a bit, as it is on this great exploration to find the solution, it is too early to predict whether or not identification will become obsolete. Currently, we have a lot of floating beliefs. While some may believe that these ID solutions are rather short term, many believe that the future of digital advertising and marketing will not be done on an individual basis, but rather in a fashion that is privacy friendly without identifying individuals. However, the truth is, we have not zeroed down on any possibilities as of now. In the meanwhile, it would be in the best interest of companies to identify, choose, and use an identity solution as per their needs and viability to ensure that they can nevertheless execute successful marketing and advertising initiatives. All in all, there is a lot of leg room for various different combinations of solutions to work together in order to make this demise seem less damaging. I would say think, evaluate, customize, and implement. If there is a Pandora's box that would signify an effortless advertising strategy, it would definitely be this. I would reiterate rethinking and reinventing your current marketing ecosystem is the only way to go forward. While the pandemic showed us a different shade of MarTech innovation, this cookieless apocalypse would show us another. However, rewriting your marketing strategy to continuously evolve is the only way to keep your ship afloat.
Well said. A perfect summary leads us to the perfect end of our podcast. Thanks a lot for such meaningful insights, Kuljeet. I'm sure our listeners gained some real hands on tips for their upcoming advertising campaigns from this. This will further entail our marketing and advertising community to prepare for the cookie apocalypse with all the gusto. We not only threw light on consumer privacy and consent amidst the larger scope of identity, but also aggregated the fact that consent managed with a personalized experience is the only way to go forward in the game. After all, the end game for your marketing funnel indeed is conversion, along with an effective cookieless media measurement.